There we are. What's going on, everybody? It's Tuesday. It's 9 o'clock. And if you're watching me here live on YouTube, thank you very much. I wouldn't be able to do it if not for all you awesome people who tune in each and every week. I appreciate every single one of you. Before we get started, go ahead and do me a favor if you wouldn't mind. Smash that like button because it helps me out in the algorithm. If you're not already subscribed, hopefully today is the day I earn your subscription. And if you do subscribe, make sure you ring that notification bell because I don't have an upload schedule planned yet. But you want to stay in the loop when I'm going to be dropping content. I've got a lot of stuff to announce tonight. I'll get into that. First and foremost, I'll be dropping my first reaction video on Thursday. It'll be scheduled for Thursday at 8 p.m. And that will be me looking back and kind of discussing and reminiscing about when I wanted to be a YouTuber, when I wanted to be a toy reviewer more specifically, and when I was reviewing with Powit.tv. I'm also going to be having my boy Lance Park from Forgotten Path Games in town. He'll be staying with me for TF Con, and he's coming in all the way from California. We're planning on doing a Transformers Armada ranking video. So if you're a fan of Armada and you want to know where the bots sit with us, it'll be fun. Lance is a good friend and an interesting dude, and we always have fun and off the rail discussions. He'll be in person, so I got to figure that out. I'll probably set up a laptop on the bar and we'll go from there. So it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be chaotic, and I hope you enjoy it. I am still working on my first extrospective. I had started filming and I scrapped it. I want something that's going to be evergreen. I want something that's going to last. I want something I'm going to be proud of. Heavily inspired by Paper Melon. If you haven't checked out his channel, really good dude. Does really good work. I want to create something that's very edited, kind of tells a story, and goes into detail about this guy, MPO1, and the story behind him and why he's significant. So once I get the groove for that, I plan on doing more extrospectives and just kind of, they're not going to be tour reviews. This is going to be looking back, a little bit of history, a little bit of my history with the figures, why they're important to me and why they still stand out in my collection. Hearing my audio is janky. Bear with me a second. Let me troubleshoot my mic here. Is that any better? Yeah, turn my gain up a little bit. So, still getting used to Restream here. And let's turn off the echo cancellation because that tends to do it on StreamYard. So let me know if that's better. Let me turn it off. I'm muted. There we go. There we go. All right, let me start over. Let me shout out Cream because we got Cream in here, and Cream is part of Gronk Squad. So check out my link tree. We do some gaming content over there with Lethal Lightning. I see Lethal's in the chat, as well as Mazza, John Connors, Nasmer, Blabbering Collector. We have a lot of fun over there. I've been editing some intros. It's been a lot of fun. So am I still on mute? No sound? Did I really jinx it? Okay, now I'm seeing better. All right, thank you so much. All right, well, let's shout out chat, and we'll get into the core content. We got Winston Leggett. Winston saying Zero, what's up, man? Winston, I'm doing good. I hope you're doing well. Hope to see you at TF Con. Hoping to see a lot of people there. We're 1 week away. And, we got a lot to talk about because we just came off of New York Comic Con and we're going into TF Con Baltimore. So a lot of stuff. We got the official stuff at NYCC. Now we're going to be moving into the third-party stuff with TF Con. I'm really excited for a lot of that news to drop. We got Lethal Lightning in here. So you gotta love live tech support. And yeah, and it's funny because I do IT for a living. You'd think I'd have my shit together, but here we are. We got Tris in here saying, "You're mute, you gay hobo." Yeah, I was muted, but it's fixed now, Tris. It's fixed. Got Princeton Phalanx in here with a hello and a wave. Good to see you, Princess. Princeton, oh my goodness. Almost called you Princess. Not going to live that down, am I? But hope you're doing well. We've got Stunning and Brave Megatron in here. My dude, good to see you in here. And also saying that he has ordered the last 2 DX9 Stunticons to finish off his Menasor. That's a fantastic set. That Attila, it's underrated. It is one of the most solid combiners. It stands shoulder to shoulder with the Zeta. You're not going to be disappointed. Looking forward to seeing your updated collection pictures. And give him a follow on Twitter. He does amazing art. Also give him a follow over on YouTube. Does really good art. Not all Transformers. He does some Disney art as well. So yeah, definitely a good sub over there. And he did a piece of art. Lethal and I both have a Beast Wars Megatron drawing from him. So definitely good stuff. And he also does commissions as well. And Princeton being a good sport about it. So yeah, let's get into it. I'll start off with my week. It's been a pretty uneventful week for me. Got another certification, got sport training taken care of. And we also closed down the pool for the season. So unfortunately getting ready for winter and fall. All the Halloween stuff is up. And yeah, it's been very busy to say the least. And as I mentioned, I might have been muted. I did some good work for Growing Squad, got some intros going. So if you like gaming content, check my link tree. It's in the description down below. And you can check out the work that we do over there. There's daily podcast, and then there's also gaming stream videos, as well as edited content. So a lot of fun, a lot of funny stuff in there. And if you're looking for fun and funny and entertaining, check us out. It's a wild show, wild streams, and there's especially the edited stuff. There's a lot to like there. So give us a look. Yeah, I've just really been getting ready for TFCon. I'm going to have my boy Lance from Forgotten Path Games staying with me for a couple days, and then we'll be heading over to the hotel in Baltimore. We'll be doing some streaming while we're here. I also plan on, if I can, and this is big if I can, I want to do at least 3 or 4 interviews while I'm there, even short ones, kind of like what I did for the Zeroed In vlog. Michael Bell, legend, absolute legend, not only for Transformers, G.I. Joe, also in gaming. Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver is one of my all-time favorite games. So I would absolutely love to get just a quick little interview with Mr. Bell. A lot of artists are going to be there. In fact, let's go ahead. We'll pull up the website because there's a lot of stuff going on there. So they've announced a few more guests, and a couple of them are expected. So let's get over here to their main page. We know about Mark Watts, who did the artwork. Travis Arts has already been announced. But let's get back. Bob Budiansky. I met Bob in 2021. Really nice dude. He is the godfather of Transformers. He is the guy that did all of the tech specs for them, all the character bios. He's the man who named most of these characters. So if you've never met him, it's a good opportunity. Doesn't charge for autographs, but he does sell prints there. I'm looking forward to maybe getting another piece. I have a Transformers #1 Marvel repro, and I think I want to get him to sign that. We knew about Jessica Di Giovanni. Andrew Griffith was recently announced. He did a lot of IDW stuff. Manny Gallen's an interesting one. He was a G2 artist, and he also did the commercials for Transformers, so he'll be there as a guest. Xavier Paul Cadeau, who was Dead End in Cyberverse. Richard Marsage, he was an artist for the Generations packaging, so might try and see if he's got any prints. I'd like to get something for the staircase going into the collection room. Jeremy Levy's another one. He was a lot of voices on Cyberverse. And Alex Milne is also going to be there, who was he did a lot of art for More Than Meets the Eye and a lot of the IDW stuff. So it's cool stuff. A lot of guests coming, not just voice actors, but a lot of people that worked in the industry. They've got a tentative event schedule going on. So Fridays, when everything really pops off, they have a customizing class. It's already sold out. I didn't even see what the customizing class was for this year. I typically never do the customizing classes. I know that's a big deal for my buddy Lance. He does a lot of miniature work, and it's just kind of his ritual for every TF Con he goes to. He does that customizing class. I tend to skip it. And now I'm not going to meet everybody because Peter Cullen, the voice of Optimus Prime, had to cancel. And as I talked about, he canceled Steel City Comic Con in December. So I'm hoping and praying that he's all right. Friday just really is more of a day when a lot of people get there. There's not too much in the mornings. The first panel is going to be the G1 licensed goods panel. Rick Alvarez is going to be hosting that one, and they're also doing a Transformers Jeopardy. I don't know who's hosting that. I don't know if that's going to be my buddy Pake or not. I've been on his Jeopardy. I might go in and try and play some Transformers Jeopardy if I can get on the panel. Saturdays when things really kick off. Of course, they're doing a lot of the Transformers trading card game. That's going to be like kind of an all-day thing Friday. Well, not all day. It's 6 to 10 on Friday, and it's actually kind of short on Saturday. Dealer room opens up at 9. That's when things tend to really pop off, when you go in and get your exclusives. And we'll get to exclusives when we get to third-party stuff, because there's one big reveal, and only one so far. Dealer room opens general admission at noon. So let me rewind. So 9 a.m. the dealer room and Artist Alley open up to the early admission holders. I'm one of them. I got a VIP. And then if you're part of the general public or got a regular ticket, it'll open up at noon. Then there's a Bob Budiansky panel, a G1 panel with Michael Bell and Michael Charles Hill. I want to do that one. Then they have costume contests. Then the big one is the third-party panel, and I probably will go live during that third-party panel for the channel. So the third-party panel is typically where we get all of the reveals coming from all the big hitters, like your Fans Toys, your Fans Hobby, MMC, Iron Factory, New Age, and the later TFCon is typically where we get a lot of the big reveals. I mean, that was Baltimore. The last Baltimore one we had was where we got the reveal for the Fans Toys Fort Max. So I'm curious if they've got anything big. There really hasn't been too much leak-wise, or it's been really quiet leading up to this one. So either there's going to be nothing or they're putting a lot under their hat. Sunday is typically where things wind down quite a bit. More TCG. There's going to be a panel about animated 3D filmmaking, and also here that the autographs are peppered in. Aaron Archer has a panel. Aaron's one of the big designers. He did a lot for Armada, and just kind of an absolute legend between Armada and Generations. That whole Unicron trilogy, a lot of that was Aaron's. I'm hoping to meet him as well. And a lot of people, they tend to frequent the dealer room because that's where you get a lot of the deals as things are starting to close out, as as people are trying to pack up all the unsold stuff. A lot of the items that people kind of keep on their back burner. That's when they start. You can haggle, or they're going to discount it. I've seen for ages a lot of the Robots in Disguise, the 2001 stuff, still on card. The Carbros typically are like $15. So if you, I feel like this year people are going to scoop those up with the Omega Prime set dropping, but you never know what you're going to find. For me, I tend to just go for the exclusives because I pretty much have everything I want. Then there's also an interesting panel later in the day. So 2 o'clock, they're doing the live script auditions and reading, and I did deliberately skip over one. There is a 12 o'clock noon panel for the fandom. And I skipped over that because a bunch of friends are going to be on that one. Rodimus Primal, Patriot Prime, Bolt Matrix, Kato, and Deluxe, who I had on last week. Deluxe will also be coming back next week, so I want to talk to him about this. So Sunday at noon, they're going to have the YouTuber panel. That's going to be exciting. I don't know if I'll be able to slip my way in there or not, but I'm friends with all 5 of these guys. So maybe I'll be on that. I don't know, but I'll definitely try and get part of that recorded for my vlog. And also, too, there's a map of everything that's going to be there in the Marriott, where the registration is going to be, the exhibitor hall, all the panels. So it's a pretty easy hotel to navigate. But yeah, pretty much like it was for 2021. I don't know if I can zoom in on this at all. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so yeah, they're having the dealer room and artist alley in the ballroom. The artist alley isn't its own room this year. They also have a UPS store right there if you need to ship anything back home. And yeah, they only have one panel room, but the panel room is typically where they're going to have like the third-party panel and all the readings. I've been to some TF Cons that had multiples, but yeah, the Marriott there only has the one. But that's fine considering, how much they have, they're spacing everybody out and they're putting them together in meaningful ways. So yeah, very much looking forward to the convention. So we'll get into some news here in just a second. Let me go ahead and check up on chat. And Sunny and Brave says, yeah, I got to see Frank and Peter last month in my neck of the woods. I'm very jealous. Very, very jealous. It's like on my bucket list to meet Peter. And I'm hoping, it may be a little selfish of me, but I'm hoping that he stays healthy and well for me to have that chance. Not only that, but I want the guy to have a good, long life. And I just really want to, get a photo with him, shake his hand, thank him for all he's done over the years as far as voicing Prime, and just get a chance to shake his hand and talk to him. Really, that's what I care about the most. And he also says, let me guess, more Constructicons. I'm sure we will see Constructicons on that third-party panel somewhere, some way, some shape or form. So they are doing that weird set where they swap the limbs around. So yeah. Interesting stuff. I think we have enough Constructicons on the horizon. I'm sure we'll probably see more of MMC's offerings. All right, let me go ahead and we'll talk some Transformers 1 news. So if you didn't get out to the theaters, if you don't like going to the theaters, but you wanted to see Transformers 1, well, now you have the opportunity. Transformers 1 has finally hit digital. So if you were holding out for digital, well, you can go ahead and get it on a multitude of services. Go ahead and share this out here. Let's embiggen this. So there's some special features that are included in it, which is nice. I don't normally get stuff on digital. I'm waiting for the physical release out in December. So the Blu-ray and the DVD, I think, dropped December 17th. And let's see here. Yep, December 17th is when it's going to hit Blu-ray, DVD, and 4K. I've got the 4K Steelbook pre-ordered. I believe this is $22.99 for the rental, which is a little up there, but I think they tend to do this stuff a little higher when it's still in theaters. But yeah, if you were looking to see the movie and you don't want to go out to a theater to see it, highly recommend it. Love this movie. I'm really hoping that it finds a second life in streaming because, well, it was one of the best, if not the best, Transformers movies since Bumblebee. And yeah, it's just a shame that it didn't do the numbers that it really should have. So moving on, we'll get into some of our NYCC stuff. So NYCC happened over the weekend, and there were a lot of Hasbro reveals. They did a Saturday breakfast for Hasbro. And yeah, let me go ahead. There we go. Restream. Clicked on something I shouldn't have. But yeah, so they did the 2024 Action Brands panel. There was quite a bit of reveals. So here's some pictures from that breakfast. Not too terribly exciting. There's a bit of stuff that we'd already seen. We'll get into the actual photos, but really nothing new that we hadn't seen before, save for the Star Wars crossover. We'll save that one for next. But we get a look. Hatchet was the first new one, so I believe this completes the dreads from Dark of the Moon. So these have been done throughout Studio Series, and I think Hatchet was the last one. So we're finally getting him. And I think he looks pretty good. He was the dog-like one, if you remember that from the movie. Then we're also getting a repaint of Scorponok from Rise of the Beasts as Double Punch. So if you're looking to troop build these guys, you can have them in a multitude of colors. I actually quite like this mold, and I dig those colors. I'm sure we'll probably get one that resembles more or less Scorponok from the 2007 movie. Then one of the big ones, we're getting the Kingdom / Legacy Galvatron repainted for Studio Series and more animation accurate deco. I wish he was getting a new mold, or I wish that they were tweaking this mold. I wish they would just get rid of these guns that look like the Revenge, which was the ship that Unicron gives him. They weren't in the movie. They weren't part of him at all. It made sense for Legacy, but doesn't really make sense here. I also wish they gave him a new chain for the Matrix. Would have been really cool if he had opening and closing hands so he could hold the Matrix and an actual chain. I would have gladly said, hey, get rid of these. Not different enough for me to really want to get rid of my Kingdom ones, to be honest. I think they're good enough. And why is his name Double Punch when I use Claudia? It's a good question, other than he was just more of an homage to the G1 Double Punch. And yeah, there he is in box. Nothing too exciting, but if you missed out on Galvatron, or you were waiting for this deco, now's your chance. And this is the only one I'm really excited about, a War for Cybertron Skywarp, getting a unique weapon. He also comes with the club weapon, the Energon club weapon that Starscream had. I can't remember the name of this weapon in the game, but he's looking pretty good. I guess that just means Thundercracker is around the horizon. And yeah, those were the 4 reveals that they had at the breakfast. Now, they also did show that a Studio Series Devastator is coming, but they didn't have any pictures. They just presented like a toy drawing of him. So, it kind of is what it is. I'm sure we'll see that. So they are doing that 10/27 event that's going on later this week, and I guess maybe they're trying to save it for then. I won't be shocked if we see Thundercracker as well revealed there. But yeah, Studio Series Devastator's coming. We don't know. We've only heard rumors that a couple of them are coming in a Commander class price. Some of them are going to be Deluxes, and 2 of them are going to be Voyagers. But I'm sure all those details will be revealed at that 10/27 event. Moving on, let's get over to more pictures of that breakfast. So we did see some interesting stuff there. The premium collectibles Optimus Prime statue is absolutely nuts. This is a stylized Jetwing, like G1 style Jetwing Prime. And this thing just looks epic. I'm not a statue collector, but man, if I was, I would probably move heaven and earth to get this thing. It just looks absolutely sick. And yeah, really dig that sculpt. And there's another statue that they had there too. Is that in here? Well, let's get back here. Yeah, that head sculpt. This is just such a sick design, blending a lot of like Bay and G1 into a cohesive fashion. I just think that thing looks sick. Then they have a cell shaded Grimlock statue, Death of Optimus Prime statue, the cell shaded Soundwave and Rumble statue, which also looks pretty awesome. Megatron and Prime fighting. I don't think that one looks too good. And then they had some sketchbooks for sale. Did they have that other? Yeah, here we go. This statue is just absolutely off the rails, ridiculous. It's kind of like a statue poster hybrid with the Death of Optimus Prime, Unicron, Prime, and Megatron fighting. Just kind of everything encompassing the Transformers, the movie, the 86 movie. This thing's absolutely sick. Just absolutely ridiculous. I'm not huge on that Unicron head sculpt. Like, it needs the goatee, it needs like the mechanical beard, but still just an awesome piece. And it's like if I had unlimited space and unlimited funds. And there was another statue that was there, but I don't seem to have that on the docket. Of course, the Walmart exclusives were shown off there. We've seen that before, the 40th Prime, as well as these retro cardback deluxes for the mini bots. Get a look at Bumblebee actually looking yellow, which is interesting because he was kind of shown off to be kind of like a metallic, kind of gold color. I still wish he had the toy face, but I'll be passing on that one. Then we got the next Transformers collaboration revealed, and this one's kind of interesting. I wasn't expecting this. I think this one's a little too late. I have a lot of friends that are excited for this one, but me personally, I kind of can pass on it. And that's the Mandalorian's N1 Starfighter. So kind of the Naboo Starfighter. This is a brand new mold. It doesn't come with any pilots like the originals had. I don't know how I feel about that. Also, the fact that it's done in just this dull gray plastic. I'm kind of past caring about the Mandalorian myself. It just seems odd. This is coming in at a premium price. This is going to be $54.99 USD, and yeah, it seems like it needed more paint, especially this Naboo Starfighter. Right, like from what it was in the show, it had a lot of silver accents. Here, it's just done in this dull gray. It looks unfinished to me. It looks like there should be something that plugs into the front of those engines. I mean, I like that it comes with a stand, and I like that the stand itself becomes functional bits for the robot, being the cape and the shield. But man, and it comes with blast effects, but for leader class price, and this thing's probably going to be about a Voyager size. Also, the fact that I don't give a shit about Star Wars anymore. And this one's going to be a pass for me. But if you're excited for it, I'm excited for you. But yeah, not really my thing. Now, this went up on Hasbro Pulse, and it's also available on Walmart's website. Still available for pre-order. So if you want it, you can get it. Also, interestingly, on their site, it makes it look a little bit more metallic. I don't know if that's just different photos or something they're doing. But yeah. Now, more interesting news. So back when I was on Figure Action, we talked about the Transformers Hot Wheels crossovers. And funny enough, the only one of the regulars that I was kind of interested in was the Ford Mustang GT, or I guess it's the Saline Mustang, the Barricade repaint. And this one, rumored has it, they've pulled from all the cases. And the rumor is they pulled it from the cases because Mattel was worried about the fact that it says to punish and enslave on the side. Some people who have, some of these have slipped through the cracks. Some people have been able to get these. But yeah, as far as I'm hearing, they are being pulled from all the retail cases. So if you're not interested and you see one, I highly recommend jumping on it, because this will undoubtedly likely become a collector's piece, a highly valued collector's piece with Hot Wheels collectors and Transformers collectors in the foreseeable future. So one to keep an eye on. Also, I don't collect these, but this one is interesting. Super 7 is continuing the reaction line, and they are doing a Diaclone Devastator. So if you ever wanted Devastator in his Diaclone colors, Super 7's doing them in a 6-inch form. These are 5 POA figures. They're not really the most interesting, but always cool to see Diaclone get some love. And this is, I know that Diaclone has its collectors. This could be an interesting piece, interesting one-off for some. But Super 7 does have some more interesting products, and one that I actually may pick up. So BBTS is getting 2 exclusives. If you don't know, BBTS, Big Bad Toy Store, is one of the biggest online toy retailers. And they're getting in a Grimlock and a Unicron. These are the larger ones. The Grimlock and the Unicron both, I think, are 6-inch figures. They're retailing. Grimlock's going to be 25 and Unicron's going to be 30. And actually, these are both available now. What makes these interesting is the packaging. So they are coming packed, and they have plastic inserts, which I think is really cool, that kind of replicate how they would have looked in the styrofoam. Unicron never got a boxed Transformers figure. It's one that I think they will eventually do for HasLab, a G1 style Unicron, like actually make that thing retail or look like it would have if it came out on retail. But this is pretty cool. The Grimlock, very limited. It's very stubby looking, but very faithful to that original toy. And this one's more of a toy deco with a lot of gold accents, and the package is really cool. I'll probably get the Unicron. The Grimlock will more than likely just be a pass, but very cool stuff nonetheless. I do have a Unicron. My buddy TM Reviews gifted me one when he was in town last year. Also, we're getting some, usual suspect repaints with them. This one's a deep cut, the Nucleon Quest Optimus Prime, which isn't the Ginrai design, but they're just doing it because they can. A Rumble in toy colors, Ghost of Starscream, Ultra Magnus, and then if you wanted to get just a regular carded Grimlock, you can do that as well. But I think the way to, and also too, not pictured, they have the concept art RC from Transformers the movie. Going over to BBTS, they also have another exclusive, and this one's probably going to pique a lot of people's interests. Back during Siege, they did a Titan class Omega Supreme, and I believe he originally retailed for $120, but inflation is a bitch, and this thing found a lot of desire on the aftermarket. This is one of the better Titan classes I think Hasbro has done, and they, I think a lot of people slept on it. Titan class figures, they fit in pretty well, not only with Generations, but because they're big characters. If you're a masterpiece collector, they also can fit the bill because they can just stand up high on a shelf and definitely look the part, and you're never going to get them to scale right anyway. So if you don't want to foot the bill for a third-party Omega Supreme, this is a good option. This is a fantastic figure. I hope it doesn't have issues because, from what I've been hearing, the Fort Max had very loose hips or knees. Yeah, so hopefully this is a good, solid release and mold degradation hasn't kicked in. But if you were looking to get this Titan and get him at a close to retail price, there's your option. Stunning Brave also says they should do a lockdown that turns into Slave One. Man, that would be cool. That would be really cool to lean in on that bounty hunter element. And I always thought they should have done that for the crossovers, like not make them turn into the character they're supposed to be, because they've always done that. Like they did the Han and Chewie combining into the Millennium Falcon, and I never liked that. But man, if they did a lockdown homage, that would be badass. Not to be outdone, if you missed out on Scorponok, he's also getting a reissue. So going back, this Omega is a little bit far out, so he's not dropping until September of next year. So again, if you want to get him, if you missed out on him, probably a good opportunity to start saving. Put in your pre-order. They don't charge up front for the pre-orders. Start saving, and he'll be dropping next year. BBTS also does Sezzle, so if you want to do a payment plan on him, you certainly can. Not to be outdone, Scorponok is getting a reissue, and he is dropping April of next year. Scorponok, in my opinion, is the best of all of the Titan class figures. Also coming in at $199.99. Again, upped in price, but again, going through e-tailers and also inflation. What are you going to do about it? But it's better than paying aftermarket prices. Also hoping there's no issues with Scorponok. But yeah, he came out 4 years ago for Earthrise, and like I said, if you slept on this one, highly recommend them. The good thing is this will give the third-party kits a second life. Maybe DNA Designs will do a value pack, because I never got those upgrades for him or Mega Zarok. Also, from 3-0, we're getting some Seeker recolors. I thought these were going to be BBTS exclusives, but no, these are actually general releases. And yeah, we're getting an Acid Storm, straight recolor of the Starscream Skywarp Thundercracker mold for the MDLX line. And looking pretty good. I actually really like that they went with colored hands. Like the green hands on there look really good. Doesn't come with any unique accessories. Also getting Sunstorm. And with Sunstorm, I love that they went with the white hands. So these are going to be coming in at about $80, which is nice considering that that's actually cheaper than what they wanted for Starscream. They charged a premium on Starscream for whatever reason. So yeah, if you're interested in these characters, if you're collecting MDLX, I think that they'll be great for rounding out your Seekers, especially if they do a couple more Rainmakers. For me, I'm content with just Starscream, Skywarp, and Thundercracker, but these look really good. And Stunning Rave writes, City bots are the only ones I have no idea how to handle in my current display. I think if you can, put them up high or just give them a dedicated shelf. If you have them up high, it just really looks like they're towering over everything. If you have the clearance for it, not everybody does that. Or, I think they also look good too if you have them kind of standing next to the shelves. Kind of gives them a little bit of presence and scale. And since they're so big, they don't really look out of place, be it on the floor. But I think putting them up high is the way to go. And we got Larkin's Lair hanging out in here. Good to see you, my friend. And yeah, so these two are dropping at the end of the year. Sunstorm's coming in the fourth quarter, and Acid Storm as well. So I also think as good as these look, I don't think there's any need to rush on them. Typically, these two Rainmakers are kind of niche. I think they look great. They do have their fans, but I don't foresee them selling out. But still, good that they're coming this year, and the MDLX fans are eating pretty good. Now, if only they could get moving on that Jazz, because that's the one I'm really excited about. And one more from 3-0. We get a look at their DLX Age of Extinction Lockdown. So this is actually going to be an event exclusive, and I'm not really sure which event it's going to be, but you will be able to order it directly. It's coming in at $250, and yeah, this thing just looks absolutely sick. It comes with the stand. It comes with a plethora of accessories. It comes with his knives, his spark extractor, his head gun. I don't know what the sphere is supposed to be, whether it's supposed to be a spark or not. Face options, hand options. It just looks really damn good. I'm sure it'll have light up eyes. If you're collecting their larger figures, man, I'm jealous, because these things are really up there with the likes of Hot Toys. Let's zoom in on this a bit. Lockdown was probably the only really good part of Age of Extinction, and probably the best of the Bay villains, in my opinion. Comes with all of his missile pods. There he's with the spark extractor, so he can give Ratchet the business. Arm cannon. Yeah, that pose there is just so absolutely sick. These things pose fairly effortlessly. They do have a lot of panels shifting around, and yeah, I really like how they did that face sculpt. It looks, I know that's a separate piece, but it looks like it should flip and fold down. Looks like the tip of the gun face is also going to light up. And yeah, if you've got their prime, these two are going to look so good together. Oh, that's what it is. He has the transforming face, and I was right. That is a spark effect. So Really, really cool stuff. That just looks like a CG render, but it's the actual figure. So great stuff there. And Princeton saying, if they make a red wing for the MDLX with red hands, does that mean he got caught red-handed? I guess so. I guess now that might be an exclusive, because BBTS actually has, they've teased it. So it's funny. I thought that I was like so certain that Sunstorm and Acid Storm were going to be one of the BBTS exclusives. If you don't know, they've been doing their own exclusives, and they teased a silhouette for 3-0 Seeker. So I don't know definitively which one that's going to be. It could be Hot Link. It could be, it could be Red Wing. It could be Nacelle. It could be the Ghost of Starscream. It's really hard to say what they'll do there, but definitely curious. It's going to be it's going to be interesting to see what they do. They haven't had anything as far as their exclusives that really grabbed me yet, or was really like, oh yeah, that's cool. But we'll definitely see what they do. I don't see it on their front page anymore, which is odd. But yeah, they did have their like little calendar with their exclusives. Let's see if we can find that real quick, because I'm really got the gears turning on what that's going to be. Here, I'm gonna check it in real time, so forgive me for this one. And yeah, their anniversary exclusives. Let's get this up over here. There we go. I found it. So yeah, if you haven't been following their anniversary exclusives, let's dig in this. They have 4 left to reveal. They did a DLX Cybertron version of Bumblebee Prime. We've got 4 left to go. Not really sure. See, I legitimately thought that was going to be Acid Storm and Sunstorm right there. Legitimately thought, but yeah, remains to be seen. Now it could also be that they're going to sell those as some sort of exclusive pack, but who knows? And that one in the bottom right, the one that starts on the 25th, that might not have been that might not be a 3-0. Silhouette wise, it looks like it, but that's definitely a 3-0 Seeker. The Titan saying 3-0 teased their Ion Storm. That could be one. I could see them doing that. Or let's see. Stunning Brave says, speaking of Seekers, do you see that female Starscream from Collector Space? They should totally do a slipstream for that mold. No, I haven't seen that one. If you don't mind, DM me that one, because that one wasn't on my radar. Let's get into our third-party stuff. We don't have too much to talk about with third-party this week, but we do have the first of the TFCon exclusive reveals, and this one really came out of left field. I had no idea what to expect when it came to TFCon exclusives, and I knew Fans Hobby was going to have one. I knew that MMC is definitely going to have something. It's not going to be a TFCon without those. But it remained to be seen like what the Fans Hobby one was going to be, because they partner with the Chosen Prime for all of these. So we got this tease earlier in the week, and I thought this was all we were going to have running into the show, and it's just a black repaint of Energon, their Energon Prime, which is the best version of Energon Prime you can get. But I was like, yeah, well, this is going to be pricey. This doesn't really homage anything. And then we get the full reveal. So yeah, the Chosen Prime revealed this earlier, and they wrote up the details for it. This is called Obsidian Commander, and it is exclusive for the Chosen Prime. It's numbered, and it's going to be $270. So very pricey. I do have some friends that are hyped for this, and I think the combined mode looks all right, but it does come with a new sword. That sword, I think it's just a recolor of like a chromed version of what their Scourge came with. I think that was Arch Enemy. Yeah, it definitely is Arch Enemy's sword chromed out, which looks nice. But man, this exclusive just really isn't doing it for me. I think it needed more teal. I think it needed more punchy colors. It just kind of looks a little washed out. When they did the photography there, they definitely didn't have the head on facing correctly. So, yeah. And there was a picture of the main bot. Let's go to Fans Hobby. I think Fans Hobby might have it there. They don't. Let's go back. Let's look at the Chosen Prime because they should have it. Maybe it's in their comments. But yeah, there were pictures of the core robot floating around. But yeah, that's our first one. And yeah, Larkin, I'm not feeling it either. I mean, it's cool for people that wanted this mold and wanted something different, unique, but this doesn't really feel like it has like the TF Con, doesn't feel like as special. And then there's the New Age one. Continuing with Fans Hobby, we get a look at their, oh my goodness, their Metal Hawk in his jet mode, and this is a resin prototype, looking good. That's how he scales with some of the others. And they also did announce that all these guys, all the Headmaster Juniors, are getting reissued. So, as well as Double Dealer. I mean, Double Dealer is fan-friggin-tastic. So if you missed out on any of these guys, you're not going to have to worry about paying aftermarket prices because Fans Hobby knows they're leaving money on the table and they're giving them reissues. Hey, we got my buddy Carl from RNG popping in. Good to see you, my dude. And the site saying, I know nothing about Energon Prime. Just know that he was a very rotund Prime, and that whole series was pretty boring. So, yeah. And rounding it out, we get another silhouette tease from DNA Designs. And I think this is going to be for Motormaster, given the sword. Now, this could be something that they're doing for Motormaster and Prime. But I'm thinking this is going to be for their animated Motormaster. They're probably using the jet wing parts and giving him a sword to kind of be something evocative of what an animated Motormaster would, could, and should look like. But yeah, so far all we have is this tease, what's hidden in the shadow. I'm sure DNA will probably have a presence on the third-party panel. So we'll probably have more details, a little bit next week. Wiley Lai saying that looks sick. I mean, Silhouette definitely does. If they can make this kind of Motormaster and you can take the wings off, I might be interested. Though I'm sure some mad lad out there is going to do a whole trailer for that animated Motormaster to turn him into Menasor. The animated Menasor we never got. And I'm sure we'll probably get those Limbots as well. So from Stunning Brave sent me that link. We get the collection space transformable Bushido Star Queen Mecha Girl. I wonder if Deluxe has seen this. He's a huge Starscream fan. Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. If they made this in Slipstream colors, I would get one. I would get one if they made it Slipstream. For me, this doesn't really work as Starscream, but Slipstream or even Windblade, I never got that Bingo Toys one. This is pretty sick. This is absolutely sick. This one will stay on my radar. And of course, they have a lot of the posable hands, kind of like a 3-0, or I think NYCC did that as well. This looks very similar to NYCC. I mean, yeah, it's all backpack, but yeah, those proportions look really good. No price or release date for this, but up for pre-order over on Show Z. And Titan saying Fembot Ice Cream has a great set of fuel tanks. Yeah, you could call them that. I'm sure Deluxe will be reviewing this one, and I'm sure too they'll probably milk out as many repaints as they can. This stand actually is a good idea. I like that you can store the extra stuff. I love when they have storage because I hate just keeping stuff in boxes. But yeah, that's pretty sick. All right, well, to wrap things up, as I mentioned, I've got a little bit more of a streaming schedule planned. I want to start doing edited videos coming out on Thursday. So, ring those notification bells because I'll be doing a zeroed in discussion where, again, I'll be looking back at my very first venture on YouTube from 17 years ago. So if you're here, you're subscribed, you've probably seen a couple videos with a very young me because, I wanted to be a toy reviewer. I wanted to do it like back in 2007. And let's go ahead. I never updated the thumbnails for these either because back in the day with YouTube, you really couldn't do it. So there's modern. But look, there's me, and then there's me with no facial hair. If you've ever wondered what I looked like without the beard, there you go. I think I've aged all right though. But I'll be looking at my review of Barricade, and that was the first attempt that I had way back in the day. So 5-minute long video. It's probably going to be a shorter video. I might go back and look at the Megatron. I got a lot of views on those back in the day, and a lot of the comments where it was rare that people showed their faces on YouTube. It was typically hands behind a camera. So I want to talk about the process and going and making that video, and just how it look back then. It was really hard to get started on YouTube because editing software wasn't what it is today, and I had to do everything on a digital camera. You didn't have front-facing screens. You had to keep it under 10 minutes. Like the Megatron one is 9 minutes and 22 seconds because I had to get that. I just say everything in under 10 minutes. So it was a little bit like a speed run of reviewing a figure. So definitely different time, different atmosphere, and I'm looking forward to going back and kind of watching how I did because I haven't rewatched this. I haven't watched this since like 2007. So I'm curious how it aged. I'm curious what my composure was. So that'll be a fun video, kind of riffing on myself, just talking about and remembering like what my headspace was at the time. It'll be like a little story time. So that'll be going up Thursday at 8 p.m. So ring that notification bell. I don't know if I'll do a premiere, if I'll just put the video up. I might do a premiere so I can hang out with everybody in the chat, but we'll see. We'll see. And then, as I mentioned, my buddy Lance from Forgotten Path Games will be in town for TFCon, and we'll be doing a Armada ranking panel. That should probably be a pretty long video because I'm sure we'll have a lot of back and forth, and he's gonna, Lance is Lance. If you know him, he's very opinionated. So that'll be a lot of fun. So I'll get a ranking set up. That'll be that'll be an interesting one to do. I got to figure out the setup, but I'll probably have it in the basement bar. And then the extrospective, I'm working on refilming and editing that. So apologize for not getting that out, but I want it to be something evergreen. I want it to be something that I'm proud of, that'll last and stand the test of time on the channel. And I want to have more than just kind of live streams and sitting behind OBS. So, I'm letting it cook. So it's something I'm proud of. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't do my toy of the week. And that toy of the week this week is my Make Toys G2 Jazz. So this was a Chosen Prime exclusive from TF Con Toronto, I believe 2018. It was either 2018 or 2017. And this was limited to 120 pieces. And this is one of my favorite pieces on my G2 Masterpiece shelf. I absolutely love this deco. I have my green screen going, so his missile launcher is, getting eaten up. But this was their G2 repaint of Downbeat. I love the fact they actually were able to call him Jazz. I mean, he's Autobot Jazz. They actually have Jazz written on there. And this is just an absolutely sick repaint. One of my favorite G2 decos that I have on the shelf because it's so subtle, but it's tasteful. Looks great. I think this looked better than the original Downbeat. Just the paint work they did on there is all super clean and crisp. It pained me that they limited that to 120 pieces. And what's even more painful about it is it came in a really cool G2 throwback clamshell, like a collector clamshell that you could actually open and put the figure back in. Really well done piece. It would be cool if Make Toys makes a return. I would love to see them continue G2. I really want them to pick up and finally give us more of the headmasters. They have Highbrow and Brainstorm already, designed. They had prototypes. Even if they just come back and do, the Cybertron, the Galaxy Meteor in the Thundercracker and Skywar colors that they've had forever at the Chosen Prime booths. Yeah. Larkin saying very cool Jazz. Yeah, I mean, also too, this is one where he looks just as sick in car mode, and I love how they did these like piercing blue headlights on him. Just a really well done figure, and it's a shame that more people didn't get a chance to get their hands on him. They also did an Inferno, a G2 Inferno that they only made 60 of, and I also have one of those. So those are two of my more rare figures. I don't even know what they go for on the aftermarket because, not trying to get rid of them. They're the stories behind them. Like, again, my buddy Oscar actually got Brandon from the Chosen Prime on the phone so I could PayPal him. He was my hookup. Oscar was on Shattered Cast at the time, and yeah, he was like vouching for me. He's like, he's not going to sell it. He's a big fan of G2. I got to get one for him. And yeah, we worked it out. So very happy to have got one for my collection. I'm noticing now my foot's a little loose. Hopefully I can fix that. But yeah. Also, Titan saying our tasteful G2 paint jobs in Canada depends. I think Sideswipe and Grimlock and Jazz probably are the three most tasteful ones. I want to see somebody do and actually Laser Prime as well. I want to see somebody do like a G2 Prime with the black trailer and some of the toy deco. I'm surprised nobody's done that yet. Princeton saying you should do a video review of your food and make it during the summer. I think that's best served for Twitter. So if you follow me on Twitter, I do a lot of food content on my main feed. Stunning Brave coming in and saying, speaking of new figures on top of the DX9 Syndicons, I also started on the extra bot protective bots. Got Groove, Streetwise ready to be made into Defensor's Legs. Awesome. I don't know where the rest of those are. Like, nobody's done a complete set of protective bots. I'm getting the MMC for my bot mode ones, and that hotspot is in the running for my figure of the year, my third party figure of the year at least. And yeah, I just want somebody to complete the sets. Like, come on, MMC, come on, X-Trans bots, get it out. Need a Defensor, like a combined Defensor. I'm going the X-Trans bots for my combined one. Definitely one of the missing parts of the collection. Before I wrap up tonight, just want to go ahead and kind of give my plans. If you're going to be at TF Con, don't be afraid to come up, say hi, give me a high five, handshake. Love to meet you there. And, if you are going to be there, I will be there. I'll be hanging around. I think we're going to go down for a bit Thursday night, hanging out with some of the YouTube folks that are going to be there. Rodimus Primal, Patriot Prime, Kato. I think Treebot's going to be there. I don't know if Inutabi's coming up or not, but definitely going to be hanging around those guys on Thursday. And I think the plan is we're going to be going out to dinner that night, but I'll be around all day on Friday. So if you are interested, if you are there and you are interested in saying hi, maybe I can make you part of the vlog as well. Yeah. So as T-Man mentions, fist bumps will also be given out. So, if you're there, I'll be there all day Friday, all day Saturday. I'm going to try and go on Sunday, though. I think we have something going on Sunday. I can't remember. So I'm going to try and go because I want to be there for the YouTube panel if I can. Since a lot of my friends will be there, so I'd like to be there to be in the audience, support them live, maybe sneak in, who knows. But yeah, so Thursday night, be hanging around. If you see me there, Friday all day. Again, don't be a stranger, but if you do see me filming, just be courteous and wait for me to finish, and I'll be more than glad to say hi, give you that handshake, high five, fist bump, and talk to you for a little bit. Saturday, I'll definitely be getting my autographs, trying to film some of the stuff with some of the folks that I want to meet. If I can get Michael Bell, if I can't, I don't think I'll be able to get Frank Welker because I know he's got a ton of people going through, but I'd love to talk to Michael Bell if I can. Same thing with Doug Parker. Getting a retro cardback pterosaur for Doug to sign. So, also looking forward to meeting him. So definitely going to be a jam-packed convention. Going to be busy that weekend, and hanging around with a lot of cool people. So really excited to make the con and just catch up with everybody, see everybody, talk to people, and hopefully we get some cool exclusive reveals in the coming days. So I think that's going to wrap it up for tonight. And as Princeton says, better to be a lurker than a stalker. I at least want to know if I'm being stalked, But now I like people. I'm very extroverted. So again, feel free to say hi. Love to see you there. And I think that's a good place to wrap up tonight's episode. So I want to thank everybody who popped into the chat. And if you're watching me on the live replay, thank you as well. Drop a comment. Let me know what you're looking forward to with TFCon. Let me know if you got anything cool this week or if there's anything cool on the horizon. If you got Transformers 1 on digital or just watched it for the first time, let me know what you thought of it. Definitely want to hear. So, thanks again to everybody. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Helps me out in the algorithm. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell, get ready for Thursday because I'm going to have that discussion video up looking back at my first YouTube video. That's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm not sure when Lance and I are going to go live on Wednesday. He's coming in on Wednesday night, so probably after he gets settled in. So that's probably not going to be a scheduled stream. We're just probably going to be grabbing a laptop, booting up Restream, and going for it. So with that, I hope everybody has a great week ahead of them. I hope to see a few of you at TFCon, and looking forward to seeing you on the next video. With that, Zero out. And